in. I think I've got a green light on Steam, YouTube, and Twitch. I am doing a little bit of setup. And I might need an extra minute or two over the time. Rest assured, we will be getting started very, very soon. See you in a moment. I am. Ooh. My goodness. Transition! Yes, black screen. Welcome to EVERSPACE 2. Oh my goodness. More importantly, welcome to the official ROCKFISH Games stream. I'm your host and your guide, all things EVERSPACE 2 related, Eric Schrader, the community ambassador for ROCKFISH Games. I live to serve you and also to tease you with all the tantalating bits of goodness. Oh my goodness. So we got a little bit of stuff to tease. The first thing that we're going to be diving into today are some of the various quality of life improvements that have been coming through, not just our own internal channels, but also from you guys. One that has been, dare I say, a hot item internally for us. And we finally caved and said, you know what? This is a good thing. We need to add this. Oh my goodness. I'm pretty low. Oh no, my mic's low? Test, test, 1, 2, 3. You guys let me know if I need to boost my mic or not. Otherwise, yeah, so let's get right into it. This new setting that I'm referring to, we did some analyses. Okay, was that proper term? I don't know, but roll with it, okay? I'm liking this, okay? I'm excited, you should be excited too. Basically, we have this new stat right here. We labeled it as auto move mouse back to center. It sounds kind of strange, maybe, I don't know. Some of you know, oh, it's relative mouse position. Yes, that's exactly what this is. It's relative mouse positioning. So if you were one of those chaps out on the forums and you were like, yo, I don't like how when I move the mouse to the side, I'm just constantly spinning. I want it to like align with where I'm pointing. You're gonna love this because we implement this because of you. So thank you for everybody out there who pushed that voice. Honestly, we didn't think that this was gonna be one that we needed to add. We didn't think people wanted it. you proved us wrong, so we added it, okay? So I'm gonna be running the game with that enabled. I also tweaked one other thing. I am using a centered crosshair, okay? I think that this gives the best experience possible for using the relative mouse positioning, okay? If you have it to where you don't have it centered, like if the crosshair behavior is floating, it's kind of hard to shoot targets because you're constantly like trying to align the mouse as it's going back to the center, and it's janky, okay? So if you go this direction, I highly encourage you to also center your crosshair behavior. Okay, so let's start a new game. We're gonna dive in with that. The entire stream, I'm gonna be running with that so you can see how easy it is to use or how difficult, depending on if you're looking for that. But I found it incredibly easy and natural. So again, thanks for the suggestion. Otherwise, we're gonna be touching on a couple other quality of life improvements through the course of the stream. And of course, we're gonna be talking about the Khait Nebula. And we will say Khait Nebula a billion times to ensure you can pronounce it correctly when it comes out so you don't embarrass yourself in front of your girlfriend or your grandma, all right? Win. So new game, let's get started and show you what this looks like. And I know we had a couple individuals in the streams asking about the relative mouse positioning, so thank you for the feedback. Thank you for the criticism of the controls. Progress has been made. Awesome.
Approaching extraction area. All miners stay in formation. Wingman, you take up the rear. Understood.
Excellent. So we're going to be starting right from scratch. Like I said, we're going to be going through this tutorial and just showing you right out of the gate. And I think what I'm going to do for this, I'm going to put the audio of the voices down since, you know, if you want to re-experience these starting bits, you can, you know, do that yourself. I don't want to be challenged talking over characters in game. But anyway, you can see like as I'm moving the mouse, where that little blue line is, like if I stop moving, it lines up with where that blue line is. So if I point this at that asteroid like that, like this, little tweaks, and I stop moving my mouse, then it starts going to that exact position where I moved, right? So I let go of my mouse, the ship turns to that direction. Nice and simple, ease of use for those of you who didn't like having the ship continue to spin around. You just point and you go. Now, granted, I am not acquainted with this control scheme nearly as much as I imagine a lot of you, so I'm probably going to make some sloppy mistakes from it, and you might see me do this like drag thing to simulate how I normally play. But rest assured, if that's not how you go, then, you know, if you like it to where it's moving, where it's pointing, like this is, it's there, it's in. We did it, boys. So again, thanks for that, because this implementation comes straight from you guys. Will it be enabled or disabled by default? It comes disabled. So and just as I showed in the menu option there, Gamil, you can go into your input, mouse and keyboard, specifically because it is a mouse style of movement. And you go to the auto move mouse back to center. Again, it's basically relative mouse positioning. And I also want to put emphasis on the fact that I encourage you to set your crosshair behavior to centered. If you're not using this, I highly encourage you to do floating, but you know, that's also very preferential, but that is how the game's meant to be played. This is just another option, more accessibility, for those of you who asked for it, who felt like it would be a good change. And you know what? I think you guys were right. That's why we added it in. Cool. All right, so now we are going to start going through the game. If any of you are wondering like, oh man, why are the voices so low? You just got here. I did turn the voices down. We're not really going to be putting a lot of emphasis on the story today. We're just rolling from the beginning, so that individuals who would maybe be interested in getting the demo, you'll know exactly what you're gonna dive into right out of the gate. The demo is completely free. If you don't have EVERSPACE 2, if you're not in the early access, you can download it. You can go up to level 5 and up to like a certain mission, but then you can just like fly around and do whatever you want in the area of Cedo. And from there, yeah, I mean, it's gonna wait it out until you decide to either uninstall the demo, you're like not interested, totally fair, totally fine, or you're like, I'm gonna now buy the full game. Your demo, wherever you left off in it, transfers over to the full game and you pick up where you were. Excellent. You know, one thing I do like about the relative mouse positioning, and I think is something that a lot of others indicated, is that you all said that it would just level things out a bit further because you felt like you were just always all over the place. And I do feel that. Like, I don't, normally whenever I'm playing with the other setting, I have to like put the mouse intentionally back in the middle of the screen. Whereas this, it's like, you know, it's like, oh, well, I'm gonna look over here, I'm gonna drink some water. It's stabilized for me. I'm not returning to something that's going to make me go crazy with a bunch of flashing lights and moving pictures. So basically what I'm saying is, great idea. Especially when you're using a HOTAS. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, especially. Absolutely. Absolutely. This should work nicely with that. Absolutely. Could you show some gunship action if you see one available on the stream, please? I could probably do that, Robo Joe. Didn't you make that request last time? It's cheeky and I like it. I like that a lot. Did the voice actor for Tareen change? Yes. Our voice actor for Tareen is changed. Alec, I think, is the same. Michael might have more information regarding that. And Michael, of course, is the CEO of ROCKFISH Games, who is working with our partners to bring a fantastic voiceover for the characters. But we did want the characters to remain as authentic as possible to the EVERSPACE 1 experience. Because I think we can all agree, it starts getting weird when nothing lines up. There starts happening to be a lot of inconsistencies, right? And it feels wrong, it feels off. We didn't want to do that. We did not want to do that. Woo! You can probably tell that I'm more used to the other style of flying. Oh man, especially there. I should just, there we go. That would have made so much more sense from the get-go. Use your missiles. Auto center plus floating would be an advanced skill if you can get it. Yeah, no, absolutely agreed there. Absolutely agreed there. I like how there's that option for those of you out there who wanted a combination. It's not something we would recommend, but it's there. You can do it. Oh, you did ask about the bomber. That's right, Robo Joe. Oh my gosh. Silly me for confusing the bomber with the gunship. My strat to kill sniper drones failed. Hey, Deshra, I am super excited about the fact you brought up sniper drones, because we're going to be talking about those as well and the player feedback pertaining to them. Now, granted, we weren't done with the sniper drone yet, But based on the feedback that kind of landed on the forums, we thought, okay, maybe a little more needs to be done pertaining to these things. So Marco, who's kind of the lead developer on the aspects of AI, if you will, he decided to tweak the outlaw snipers in a way that makes them show their target lock more accurately to where they're looking at. So now you can see the alignment that they have on you and compared to like where you're flying. So so the line isn't just gonna always be pointing at you and then they fire, they miss, or you know, they hit you or whatever. Now the line is gonna be kind of bouncing all around, and then you'll start seeing it point in front of you, and then it'll line up. So if you do a janky quick maneuver, you can actually dodge it now, as opposed to before where it was just like hard tracking you and just blasting you. Again, this is something I'm gonna show. So I know it's easy for me to just be like, oh yeah, we fixed it, and you have to believe me. No, I'm gonna show you that later, whenever we get to some sniper drones. But yeah, so definitely appreciate the dialogue that was being shared about the sniper drones. Yeah, we'll continue to make improvements, of course, to the AI and how it's all being fleshed out. Because the AI director had a couple issues. You guys pointed that out as well. Oh my gosh. It's great. It's terrible at the same time. That's fine. We're still working on it. So glad that there's a lot of you who are keeping your eyes peeled on where the state of the game is and how it feels. That's exactly the point of feedback. So keep telling us how you feel. It's so good. You're helping us out a lot. So thank you for that. So now we're gonna fly around. I'm gonna get used to this relative mouse positioning bit. I think I might be improving. I think I'm learning. It's still a bit tricky for me at these camera shakes. Man, let me tell you what. I was straight up call Michael out on this. He's like, oh yeah, put the camera shakes on during the streams because it looks cooler for viewers. I mean, he's right. He's not wrong. He's not wrong, but dang, do I hate camera shaking so much. Oh my goodness. Anyway, let's keep pounding out these guys. Cam shakes are awesome. Stop it, shoes in. You're making me look bad in front of my boss. All right, anyway. Wait, no, I have done that myself. All right, cool, that checks out. All right, let's take out this destroyer, and then we'll go save Ben. I can see why this is a desired trait about the relative mouse positioning, though. I mean, this does feel much smoother than what it was before. I still have to get used to it, but it's nice. This is nice, guys. This works. That should be enough to take him out. Ben's gonna start burning. We're gonna be sad. We're gonna go save him. Boost, please. My cruise drive isn't working. I hope that's a temporary broken thing. Can you change the speed of the auto center? I can change the distance. I don't know if I can change the speed. Let me look at it for you though. I think I'm gonna skip this cutscene just for the sake of keeping the focus on the conversation that we're sharing. But basically you get that full cutscene from the demo, also from the, you know, start of the game, etc, etc. Just gonna skip, and then let's quickly look at our settings pertaining to the question, because that's why we do live streams, so we can show and talk about. Wonderful. So thank you for the question. So what we have here is we have the mouse radius. Yes. So what this is going to do, if I reduce this all the way down to 0, you'll see immediately I can only move that mouse a sliver of the way from the middle. Okay? See that very little blue indicator there? So by changing that, it gives you a bit more flexibility to move about that space to get exactly where you're trying to move it to. Of course, if you don't want that, if you're doing Twitch style movements, the shorter's probably best. Like, that's why it's adjustable there. It just depends on where you're at. But then obviously we also have mouse sensitivity, the dead zone that can be adjusted as well. Lots of different ways to tweak and refine that to get things where you want. So again, I'm just gonna keep running it like this. I feel like this is the best for me. Might not be the best for you, so I encourage you to play around with that once we get that implemented in the next update. But yeah, a good question. A good question. Change to floating, it'll be easier. I mean, I prefer floating, but I want to show this. So I want people to see how this works and to see, you know, that's not half bad of an option, especially if this is the way that you're used to playing games, that we're happy with its implementation, that it is accessible, that it's more than usable. So yeah, maybe at the halfway point, if, you know, whatever, we can change around or whatever. I'll ask you guys what controls you want me to do, and then I'll do that. Oh, that's terrifying. Oop, whoops. Come here, you. So I'm gonna blast a couple of these things, turn off some jump suppressors, so we're gonna look at a couple more questions and observations you guys have made, and we'll keep going. Camera shaking is more authentic when you're in first-person mode. Yeah, I don't disagree. Are you saying you want me to fly in first-person mode? Is that the request? I mean, you're right. That does feel real good. The immersion factor has gone up. There we go. Whoop. Super light. DDR pad controls next stream. Look. Look here, folks. So I feel like this might be a fun time to show you another improvement that we have made. This is just, it's been in the works for a while. A lot of you have pointed out and been like, oh my gosh, this is not done. This game is broken 0 out of 10 because I don't have pretty graphics, but we actually updated the map. The map. So real hard to say when I'm zoomed out here, but if we zoom in, we've got names next to planets and various celestial bodies. You might also see that the textural quality of the planet has actually been added. It's there. They're on here. And they've got this nice shading effect. Look at that one. Oh my goodness, that's pleasing to the eye. We got oh, look at this one. Now the shadow is broken on this one, I'm told, but we've also got Palemon's Wound. You can see that planet completely broken up. And I can't get too revealing, but you can see that there are some visual differences. Just by going right there, you can see the shadows of the planets and the overarching qualities of those locations. A pretty large difference. We're looking at these 4 in particular. Pretty large difference in comparison to what we had prior, which was basically everything looking like Aetheon and Drake, and they're just like stars. So it gives you a much greater sense of the scale of the system and all of the planets, all of the celestial bodies that are within those locations, because you can see them now. Just little details like that. It's all coming together. And we're happy with the way that this came out. Like, we hope that you are too. No, I can't zoom in too much, but I hope that you think that this is pretty. I think it's pretty. And I'll show you some screenshots of that in a little bit. But first, let's head to Rhodia 2. Keep triggering the story mode. And answer some more questions. Delicious celestial bodies. All right. I'm not gonna challenge that. It reminds me, okay, so you know like those what are they called? Like the gourmet chocolates or whatever, you know? Actually, I've had some that were designed like the solar system. So yeah, delicious. It's a good descriptive quality. Looks a lot better. Yeah, no, I think that it's interesting, right? Because it's such a subtle difference that makes a huge impact, right? I mean, we just updated the models and then added a shader, and then obviously, of course, you know, added more of the effects, because like you can tell that Zarkov is a big, massive, swirling vortex now, in comparison to Union, which before they looked basically the same. And you can tell that the Khait Nebula is actually a nebula instead of, you know, again, looking identical to everything else. It feels good. It feels good. Truffles! Truffles is the term that I was looking for, actually. Thank you, Desra. Love it. All right, so let's get in this home base. Power things up. Everything's online. Wonderful. Okay, so I see a question, and I saw a little bit of responses from the community, but I do want to address this one. Slorin Tetson from YouTube says, the Scout and Vanguard let me try that one more time. The Scout and Vanguard handle very similarly. Will that difference be made bigger in the future? Now, Spoot Knight already jumped in, and Spoot Knight is a pretty solid member of the community, so thanks for jumping in there. Also, fantastic screenshots. And he says, opposed to what? Each weight class is pretty similar in their respective handling, which is true. And Slorin Tetson has a follow-up that says, not opposed to anything, I just can't tell the difference with the same equipment installed. And that's fair. I think that's a fair statement. This is good criticism that helps us to know that there needs to be more diversity between the ship classes. But also, do know that there are more tweaks and modifications coming that will distinguish each individual class even further from where we're currently at. We're still working on a couple new passives. Obviously, the new wings and those variations will have an impact in the differences of the ships, and your special abilities and your passive stuff like that. That's also going to have an impact on your specific playstyles. When you're lower levels, you know, like level 10-ish, level 15-ish, there's a bit of sameness that can happen from there, but I guarantee you a railgun on a Vanguard versus a railgun on a Scout feel very differently if you're maximizing your distance. They feel very differently. Conversely, if you are using any sort of shield recharging effects in conjunction with any sort of speed boosting effects, the Vanguard's going to feel much stronger as opposed to the Scout, which is just going to be more nimbler. So there are current distinctions, but rest assured, we're still evaluating that process, and more will be appearing. Scouts always felt underwhelming in general to you. You should let us know in more detail on the forums, Bearded Frog. You may have already even posted it. If you have, I just haven't read it, because I have seen you've been posting on Dem forums, and it's been a delight to see some solid criticism and feedback coming into play. So thank you for that. All right, let's go ahead and change our ship colors, because that's always fun. I don't have much. I don't have like hardly anything at all, but we're going to swap these around, inverse, and then we're gonna make things metallic. So we have kind of this almost like an unfinished ship look that's been kind of painted. Actually, that's not too bad. I kind of like that. We're gonna keep that standard though. I don't want to make that glossy. That feels good. I like that. And then we're gonna just change the lights to yellow all around, so it's just more consistent. It's what we got right now, so we're gonna take it. All right, otherwise, now we need to do the next part of the mission, which is to build ourselves up Absolutely love metallics. Yeah, I think the textures came out pretty well. We're pretty happy with where the ship's currently at in regards to that. Pretty happy with how the customizations come together. So now we're just building ourselves up. And when I say building ourselves up, we have to establish ourselves at this base. So we got to pick up the materials for Dax. In this lonely part of Cedo. Was that a new sound effect there? I think that was a new sound effect. We've been tweaking sounds. Making them feel a little bit more mechanical in parts where it's like you're establishing something onto the ship. It's gotta sound good, right? It's important. Alright. We got this outlaw scout. Let's go ahead and just come around, engage, knock him out. Nice and simple. And then keep doing some more exploration. You enjoy the music? It's pretty cool. Yeah, we're pretty happy with it. I mean, obviously there's those who don't like it. Not everyone's gonna like our music, and we understand that. But we have been tweaking music too. Like, I don't know if you guys were here whenever we first unveiled the Zarkov music. I let you guys listen to it. Some of you were like, oh man, that's really awesome. And we were like, no. We needed to replace it. We're happy with it, just didn't feel very according to Zarkov itself. And so that's been updated. Sometimes the process is literally, let's do something 3 times and not be happy with it any of those times. Oh, game dev is fun. I'm just glad we have all your opinions out there to also smooth things out, because sometimes it gets hard just listening to ourselves bicker internally. But when you guys are like, oh yeah, this is real good, or this really sucks, or this could really make a difference, we're kind of like, oh, okay, maybe we looked at it wrong, or maybe we were looking at it right. That's fun. All right, so we're grabbing an Aeterna bypass. Spoiler, this is an item that upgrades your ship. In fact, I don't even have to tell you because it's on the screen right now. Gonna check and make sure I'm not missing any important questions. What will the max level be? Proposed 30 at this point in time. That could change. I don't think it would be less than that. I can't say that. I don't know. There's so many factors that happen. I want to be real with you guys. Like, we have been in like a state of observation of where we're at, where we would like to be, right? And that means sometimes you got to put more emphasis on territories you didn't think you needed to, and it means less emphasis on others. It means expanding upon an idea over here. It means destroying that idea over there. It's a hard process, right? It's a really, really hard process for us to evaluate what's going to ultimately be the best for the game state, that's going to have that polished experience for you guys, right? And sometimes that means we have to shut your ideas down. It's not fun. That is not a fun thing to do. It's like, hey, give us your thoughts and your feedback. Well, that one's not gonna work. What's happening? I thought you asked for feedback. It can kind of get confusing sometimes. Early access can be confusing. But rest assured, it's just part of the development process. I know that there's developers in this chat listening and they're just like, dude, that's such a mood. Yeah. Oh my gosh. But that's what we gotta do. We gotta take what's best. We gotta push that forward, whether it's an idea from you guys or it's an internal idea. And we have to take what sucks and we gotta push it out. Whether it's an internal idea we had or one from you guys. Like, it's just part of the process. And I am thankful that we have a pretty solid, understanding community in regards to that. You guys are pretty chill pretty good about it, especially our backers. Oh my gosh, you backers? Which I know that you've been along for the ride, so you have probably the most understanding because, you know, you've literally been with us for years. But, dang, you're so wholesome and good and stuff. I dig it. I dig it. So just thanks for that understanding. And then also thanks for having that understanding, still laying the smackdown when we do something dumb. That's that's also nice. All right, we're gonna add these mines up here. Making sure other questions have been taken care of. Laserhead, finally caught you live. I feel like you show up normally in the streams. And how do we miss more scrap metal? Oh my goodness. How silly is that? So the Aeterna stat transfers from ship to ship. So the way that the Aeterna bypasses work is that, think of them more bound to your character. I know that sounds strange. It's bound to your pilot instead, especially because, you know, the ship stats is right next to attributes, but the attributes are applicable to your character, modified by what's on your ship. And then those are also modified by the pilot's perks, right? Whereas the ship's stats, they are inherently modified further from the attributes that you have accrued. So when you get the Aeterna bypasses, you unlock an augment, you adjust your attribute itself using the module that is bound to the pilot. So you swap ships, you're gonna have the exact same attributes. Furthermore, when you add to the attributes in any way, you can also remove from. So it's never permanently bound. It's not like a one and done situation. Oh, well, you screwed up. You better restart your entire game to go a different pathway. No, it's not like that at all. So yeah, that's how that operates. Another good question. Yeah, well, I mean, I do agree. I don't think it's like super crazy transparent in that regard. We'll probably tweak that in some way, you know, because we like it when the game helps you understand the processes instead of you have to look it up on a forum for somebody to tell you, oh yeah, you need to hold this button down to do mass clicking. Like, it's kind of silly, but a lot of people don't know about this because it's not inherently in the game at this time. We know. We will add that in so that the player has that knowledge of how to do that. It's part of the process. It's part of the process. So let's see. I see a couple more conversations on the side. Looks like we're having some nice addressing, but I want to read this one out as well. What happened to the cockpit mouse control? I see a blue arrow instead of the targeting cursor move. What setting is that? Tiberius, welcome. I am actually using a new setting today. This was a popular one from the community. Well, I mean, it's not like a crazy one. It was like 99% of people were asking for this hot item. No, it wasn't something like that. It was still a minority, but we felt that it was significant enough to plug in. So this is called in game, it's called the auto move mouse back to center. Auto move mouse back to center. It's relative mouse controls. That's what it is. So what I've done is I centered my crosshair behavior while I'm using this. So whenever I move the mouse to the left and I let go, it just recenters in the very middle. The crosshair is not doing any sort of, well, what's it called? It's floating. It's not doing any floating, which constantly snaps back to the center, which would be difficult for me to align my targets and shoot. So that's what I've changed it to show everyone. We implemented this because you asked for it. So thank you for that feedback. Feels pretty good. Pretty nice. I don't know if it's going to be what I continue to use, but I'm glad it's an option for those of you who wanted it. So, another question from Wolkenform says, hey guys, why is the bonus from the Aeterna augments so small? Compared with higher level gear, that bonus doesn't really make a difference. You're actually right. You're 100% right. we've played around with the augments a number of times. We'll conform to give you just a little bit of development progress regarding them. At first, the augments added so much that the moment you got your first augment in the game, like out of the gates, like starting over at level 1, you plug in an augment and that attribute is just insanely good. It was broken, is basically what it did. And so we had to look at this and say, okay, well, do we want it to be percentile? Do we want it to be a numerical value? What does that numerical value do? Do we want that numerical value to grow with each added augment? And you know, those style of questions, right? And we're actually pretty happy with where it's at. I'm saying this because I want to make sure the expectation is where it needs to be, but we are pretty happy with where we have aligned the attribute systems with the augmentations, where if you're going out of your way to find the Aeterna bypasses, you're going to be in a really strong spot in the game for adjusting your attributes even further through the story. Now, once you max out all of your augments, right, by accomplishing all the things, you're right, it's not going to be as nearly as significant as the particular items and the modifications they have, but that's also important. We want it to be where the loot takes the center stage, especially in the end game. We don't want it to come down to, oh man, why is this player playing so much better than me? Oh, he collected all the augments? That sucks. I don't want to spend 40 plus hours looking for all this. Like, we don't want it to be that battle. It's going to give you an edge, but it's not what you need to do. What you need is to optimize your loot. The loot takes center stage. That's what you're going for, to find the right modifiers, the right set bonuses, the right legendaries, and mixing and matching to work with your specials, your passives, your playstyle. That's how that all is intended and how it's, you know, meant to coincide with one another. Now, after that little, you know, explanation, if that still you're like, I don't buy it, I have thoughts, great, let us know more. You can head on over to the forums, Steam forums or GOG forums if you prefer, and start up a little conversation as a suggestion and say, look, this is how I feel about augments. I think that they suck ass, and this is why, and this is what needs to be done. Excellent. Share it with us. Maybe we can find a middle ground. I don't know. We'll see what other people think if they dive in on that forum. That's what they're there for. Did he just say legendaries? Oops. Yes, I did. Argument makes sense. Hey, that's great. I just want to make sure that we have an understanding. That's what the stream is at the end of the day. I'm glad that you get it. But still, even if it makes sense and you think, oh man, something more, let us know. Who knows? You might be the next push forward for a quality of life improvement. All right. Let's get out of here. Oh wait, no, I need to go back in and fix the reactor. Whoops, sorry. Dax is in here trying to use the bathroom. The lights aren't on. Can you help me fix the reactor? Oh my goodness. Let's get this going. Yes, companion perks, thank you. Plug all this stuff in. Done and done. So now he's gonna show us this beautiful new map. For all those who haven't been watching, we have updated the map so that it looks a bit cleaner. You can actually see the celestial bodies in each of the locations now. And you can also see added effects on top of that to make the systems more distinguished from one another. More changes are still coming to the map, by the way. We are not done. So if you're looking at this and be like, that's a nice improvement, but more, I mean, you're gonna be satisfied. At least I hope you'll be satisfied. There's certainly more going to be added. So anyway, I digress. I was gonna plug in some of this stuff because I really like that tractor beam upgrade. It's just nice convenience. So we're going for that. Also, I don't want to track repairs because who needs to repair their ship? Silly. That doesn't make any sense. Wait, didn't I change my ship colors? I didn't save my ship colors. Much better. Excellent. Now, let's go find some bean bags. Thank you, Rockfish Games. Thanks for what? Why are you thanking us? I'm scared. Okay, you had probably an issue with your system. Okay, I'm glad we were able to help out. You know, system issues are always one of those things where it's like, can we help this individual? It's it's scary sometimes. There's so many different systems and setups out there. Woo! But I'm real glad that it's working for you. Ooh, ship color! You know, I'm kind of getting used to these controls. This feels pretty good. This is feeling pretty decent. Skip the cutscene. You know, I don't like how there's voice at all because it makes the stream sound like it's muted or something. I'm just gonna cut the voice entirely. Just destroyed all that beautiful voice work that we have spent money on. We're like, nope, you can't hear it. You want it, you have to play the game. Ha! Got you with the marketing tactic. Ha! Oh my goodness. Anyway, we've got some more stuff to cover though in the stream, so we're not done with just talking about quality of life stuff and answering questions. Let's see, where's the other piece? Oh, it's up there. No, it's over here. Goodness gravy. Not gonna lie, it's been a minute or two since I've restarted my save. We've been hard at work with the Khait Nebula. And yeah, I'm excited to show you a little bit about what it looks like later in the stream. It's looking pretty clean. Okay, so wow, I just have to mention interior spaces with this type of mouse movement is actually really nice. That felt real clean. And I say that, it's like, okay, well now we have an object blocking my screen. We've been getting some feedback pertaining to that too. We're not done yet. All right, corrosion missile launcher and efficient prime zapper. Ooh, how's it compare? Increased damage against units with a higher level than your own. Well, since we're level 1, the odds of fighting things that are higher levels, pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and add that. We're also gonna take some corrosion missiles because yes, of course. And we'll grab our first secret device location as well. The Fallout says, last time I complained about the difficulty being too low. Heard. We had a series of individuals complaining about that. After the Zarkov update, I got some red high-risk zones and actually had a good challenge where my health got quite low. Okay, good. That's great to hear. That's great to hear. Yeah, we want more of that. We want individuals to feel challenged instead of just like steamrolling. At the same time, I do want to mention, for those out there who are like, I don't know how everybody's doing it. I can't play this game at all. It's way too difficult. It's okay. Everybody has a different walk of life. Everyone's a different type of gamer. We will be making difficulty adjustments in the future, including you to be able to just straight up choose the difficulty. So that is in the works. But in general, I am very glad to hear positive reception of the difficulty adjustments that have been made. I feel like this is such a good time to fight some sniper drones. So I think I'm just gonna make some appear and go from there, because I want to show you what's changed about them. That's been a fairly hot complaint fairly hot complaint regarding our forums. So, if you missed this little fellow right here, this hidden shipwreck, this has an Aeterna bypass, and it also has a temporal nano recompensator. This allows you to regain what you lose over the course of time. So if you start the temporal nano recompensator over the course of 12 seconds, or rather, no. When you hit it, it restores the damage that you've taken over the course of the last 12 seconds, up to 50% in regards to your armor. So your armor, your plate right here, that is what's affected by your temporal nano recompensator. So probably not the best tool for a ship that doesn't have armor at all, but a ship that has more emphasis on, say, shields. Like our shield here has a 25% bonus as a sentinel. I know I'm kind of blocking that a little bit, so you can see it right underneath the ROCKFISH logo on my shirt. Sentinel gets a 25% bonus, whereas the armor, they get a 0% bonus. But you put that device on something like a gunship or a bomber, you're gonna have a wonderful time because you're just expanding upon greatness already. All right, so we've got that squared away. We're gonna combine some more of these elements. Yeah, that's definitely an updated sound. And then I think we're good from here. I'm just gonna reorganize. Oh, we have power cells? Yum! Absolutely take care of that. All right, so credits, Aethium, crystal shards, and iron. Cool. And then we're gonna bring in some sniper drones because I really want to show you guys the adjustments that we made on them. Even though you wouldn't generally encounter sniper drones until a little bit later in the game. Not like a crazy amount later. But to just give you the comparison, I'm gonna throw some cheats up on the screen. Look away, your virgin eyes! Oh no! And then we're gonna, oh, I can't actually pull that drop down while you're looking. I can't actually pull the drop down. So I am gonna have to hide your eyes for a brief second. Oh, that music overlap. Oh my goodness, sorry about that. But what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to tell you all about our socials that are on the screen right now. We've got a Discord, we got YouTube, a Twitch, a Twitter, Instagram. Oh my goodness, we have all these beautiful, delightful little things. And it's just a good time for us. It's a good time for you. There's a lot of different places where we go and honor you, like Instagram. We just straight up throw your beautiful screenshots on there, like holy dang. And Discord, we love to engage with you, make fun of you, share memes, talk about some pretty intense things pertaining to the game state. You guys do report bugs there, but you shouldn't be, you sillies. You're supposed to report bugs to the forums. But it's all good. We do have an Ask Devs question channel there as well. So if you ever didn't get your answer from the stream and you're like, oh my gosh, this guy's totally ignoring me, what a freaking jerkhead, just show up there and ask the question again, because we do care. We want to make sure that you get answered. Like, that's honestly how it works. So yeah, anyway, here's some sniper drones. Now you can see their alignment. Now I have to move about here so that they don't get a shot on me. But the way that they are focused in, you can see exactly where they're pointing before they shoot now. This is very, very, very different. But you can tell, like, I'm moving in a circle, okay? Because their alignment is also moving in a circle. You can see where they're pointing before they shoot. Very, very important distinction. You'll also have noticed that they have missed me every single freaking time because I am moving in a circle. So long as you are dodging, much like against any ship that you're fighting in the entire game, dodging applies here. An adjustment appropriately made. Thank you, Marco. So thank you for all the feedback pertaining to the sniper drones and how they were absolutely savaging you all. It's fixed. The deed is done. But also, if you're silly and you keep moving in the same direction, Sniper drones will actually hit you, and they can do a lot of damage. So if you become a sitting duck, Weber drones, ouch. That's when snipers are gonna get ya. They're gonna get ya. All right, let's move to the next location. Oh. Oh. Music's loud, mic's low. Is that what I'm hearing? Oh, the standby music. Okay. Thank you for pointing that out. Thumpy Bunny Eve? I think I read that correctly. Usernames are fun. Oh my goodness, there's a story behind that one. Let me tell you what. All right. We're going to get this logbook. Oops, I went too far away. I'm trying to do something intentionally to show you, even though I started downloading it, so long as I'm in the area, I can keep holding down the F button to gain that. This is also implemented recently. It's similarly used for collecting all the loot. So instead of you having to stop, focus on one piece of loot, hold down a button, collect it all, now you can just fling by, start holding down F as you're still moving in combat, and you'll collect everything that you are close to. Fun little quality of life improvements. Yay! All right, take out these higher levels than us because they shouldn't be too hard yet, especially because I know how to play this game. Yes, excellent. I are good. We got a little side mission, and we're gonna go collect another one of the devices that you can find here early. This is not the location of the device, but it's still a hidden secret that gives you a little bit more. Oh, we wasted a corrosion missile for that. I don't know if that was good, but autocannon. It's a shame we haven't found a cargo unit yet. Just drop some medicine off like that. And a mine launcher. Okay, we'll probably swap that out. Yeah, that's just a straight upgrade. We'll leave that there. Hopefully we'll find a cargo unit. But the other device, I'm not spoiling everything for you and where you can find all the stuffs and things, but just so that you guys are aware who's starting things fresh, there's a couple locations that if you look around, they will reward you. Quantum Entangler is mwah, very nice. We're also going to create an augment of our Aeterna bypasses once you get 3 of those. So I'll show you how those get implemented. Should have another pop-up, I think. I can't remember. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Okay, that Weber drone actually sucks. Dual Weber drones, nasty. I missed. Curses. All right, there we go. And then we are going to augment our ship here in just a moment. Oh my gosh! What a drop! That makes me so happy. What about controller players like me? Does it still hold A? I believe the button is the same on the controller, but the most important thing about that is that when you start holding it and you're no longer looking at the object you're trying to pull, it will still continue to go through the hold status. So now the next thing, I think, yeah, okay. So we adjusted the speed of dismantling and destroying. So this goes a bit faster. You can see that in comparison to a previous version. Destroying now is at the speed of, I think, what dismantling was before. Destroying used to be like 2.5 seconds long. So, it's about maybe a little longer than 1 second now. This was also something you guys were remarking, like, I hate waiting forever to do a thing in the inventory. Yeah, we agree. So, boom, adjusted. So now you can just, like, get through this stuff. I don't want it. Okay, it's gone. You know, let's get rid of it. Let's keep going. Much faster. Ooh, I should have not done that to that one. How dare I? But it's gone. If only that would have been slower. I'm just kidding. Oh my goodness. Special item augment. We have some details there telling you what an augment is. You can pause the stream or take a screenshot if you want more details about that. But ultimately what this means is we can start plugging in here. I'm gonna plug it into expertise. So you'll notice we went from 40 to 60. That's a pretty big improvement in a low level state. Doesn't really do too much for us yet. It only increases the shield damage mitigation or reduction in the proper game terminology by approximately 0.8%. So long as our shields are up and running, we're gonna just be reducing damage even further. We could also go to making firepower do more damage, but we're gonna need a hefty amount of augments to make a big improvement on this. Otherwise, leveling up will inherently increase your attributes as kind of the one static element of level progression there, where stats generally increase, but obviously the more important aspect of leveling progression comes down to the new items that you can find, the higher tiers, the new modifiers, the prefixes, and of course the perks that you gain access to at higher levels as well. All right, so we picked up that messin. We missed some other items in the area, but that's fine. We're gonna head over here. All right, so we've been playing in first person for a while. I'm gonna go back to third because I feel like this updated control scheme actually works better in first person, maybe? I'm just gonna kind of feel this out. But relative mouse is pretty nice. You want more great standout missions that players would remember and could not be randomly generated? Yeah, I mean, there's still more side missions that are being added. And I know that you know this, because new side missions were added within Cedo, they were added in Union, they were added in Zarkov, so of course we're adding even more side missions when we get to the Khait Nebula, and all that type of stuff. And we hope that we make them stand out. If they start feeling all samey, let us know. But at that same, like in that same territory, jobs of course can be taken in a lot of different times, and they tend to be a little bit more samey, but I mean, jobs can tend to be that in real life too. We don't necessarily see that as too much of a problem, because sometimes you want to have the same jobs over and over. But I digress. We are absolutely looking for more variety when it comes to side missions and whatnot. Man, all these pop-ups giving me information that I don't need to explain to you guys. You guys are smart. Armor plating. What does it do? It stops people from shooting me and doing damage. Nice. Can you please fly a striker today? Oh my gosh, we had a request for the gunship as well. I need to get to a part of the game where I can buy a ship. That's what I need to do. So let me get there first. Are you sure it's not you that need the pop-ups? Hey, no. Maybe. You know, transparency is key in a game. It's like, if you have all these different things and the game never explains how or why to use it, I feel like it's a pretty big problem. Is that a minefield or a your field? That was beautiful. If you're asking legitimately, yeah, minefields that are flashing red are bad. Minefields that are flashing green are, I mean, I guess one could argue that they're still technically bad because you can damage yourself with your own mines, but they are controlled by you. So in an example, I can fly over to this mine, pick him up, now he's green. This mine is now mine. Ha! Take that, mine. All right, let's fly to this next location. I think there's a bug who has joined me for the stream. Where did you go? What type of bug are you? Something's around my keyboard. If you hear me scream like a little girl, everything is fine and under control. All is well. What side missions were added to Cedo and Union? Only found vault loading? Oh my gosh. Whew. There were a lot added. It would be a while to run through the list, but I mean, goodness gravy, they show up in a lot of different spots. They're kind of all around. Some of which don't show up until you do a specific thing in locations too, so you kind of have to dig for some of them, if you will. They're not all just straight transparent. Most of them are, I feel like. Like we didn't want to like be cheeky and just hide everything, right? That, like, okay, now I have to go online and look up a guide to complete all there is in the game. But we do have a means, a plan, to indicate to the player on the map this beautiful map that's been updated. Oh my goodness, look at the beautiful map that's been updated once again. I just like showing this. I think the team did a great job. But we are planning to add more details to the map to where when you are looking at a particular location, it would give you added detail of like how many Aeterna bypasses you've collected and how many are left. That's just one example. Other details could also be implemented there to show you the completion status of a particular area. That is still in the plans. Time to revisit every location then, woo! Woo! Maybe. Oh, it doesn't let me grab that yet? Oh, shoot. I was gonna try and be cheeky and use that debris as armor. All your butts are gone. Sorry, drone. All right. Now we can move this debris, start things up. So fun fact, just because this is wobbling around, when we first implemented this grapple mechanic with the debris, we didn't have the right distance from the ship. You can actually see there's actually a bit of distance here. That's intentional. Would you believe that when we grappled it at first and the piece of debris was flinging it around, that it would collide with the player ship and continue to bounce and hit you until you died? That was fun. We fixed that. All right, let's head back to base. Get slapped by debris. I know, right? I didn't even know you could pick up enemy mines and make them yours. Well, now you know. There might be a bug with doing that though. I actually have to explore it a little bit further, but I think that maybe when you transfer ownership of the mine and use it against your opponent, it still deals damage like it's your opponent's mine, so it doesn't damage them. If that's a bug, we're going to kill it with fire, so don't worry about that. Just pointing that out. Yeah, oh, so for anyone who's wondering like, oh, how come the mouse looks so weird and different? For all those who are joining, I'm actually running this intentionally different to show you that we added a new way to play. This was a request made by, you know, it was kind of steamrolling there for a bit. And it was like, okay, you guys, we hear you. We're gonna jump this in. There were some complaints about from some HOTAS users, other individuals who are having trouble with how the mouse works. So we have added relative mouse aiming, auto moving the mouse back to the center. So when you move the mouse to the left, it just recenters. Move the mouse to the left, it recenters. So you don't have to, like, if you're moving over here, your ship's not constantly spinning, right? That's the big adjustment, or option rather, that we have now included. I have it enabled. It starts by default disabled, but I have it enabled. And then I also changed the crosshair behavior to be centered instead of floating. I prefer floating and not having the mouse auto move, but while using the auto move mouse back to center feature, I like it centered. That way it's not a weird brain buster for me. So you can make any sort of combination you want. You can change the crosshair mouse radius, the dead zone, the sensitivity. You can change the position, which this doesn't really do too much. This is mostly going to be for those who have like the is it the Windows taskbar? Is that what it's called? Frick, I don't even know what that's called. Like, if there's a mouse positioning thing where it can actually unalign the mouse, you can change this between the operating system to the software, stuff like that. Keep it independent. Anyway, just showing those off and exactly what it looks like here as well, so that we're all on the same page and what that's providing. Man, I found a lot of armor. Otherwise, I'm gonna store all of these resources, and this stuff's gonna be for selling probably. We need to start saving credits now. And we're almost to a part where we can start buying new ships. I'm gonna cheat. Just gonna straight up tell you guys, I'm a cheat right now, because I wanna have the credits to buy this thing, so. I don't normally like cheating during the live streams, but for progression's sake of getting to the ships that were requested from you guys, I'm gonna do that. I don't encourage cheating unless you're doing it specifically to try and break the game, in which case, please cheat. Cheat as much as you can in that sense. Break the game, tell us what happened. That helps us in development so much. But otherwise, we did that so we can buy this, so we can move the story forward. Spawn a black hole as punishment. That's not how that works. I mean, the punishment in and of itself is that we're now progressing to a higher level area without having gone through the motions of collecting what we need in a normal degree. We're also gonna buy the teleporter, which I shouldn't be able to afford. Oh my gosh, look at me being cheeky. Actually, we're gonna use the teleporter instead here. It just goes so well with the Sentinel, I feel like. So we're going to leave a proximity mine behind, I think. I've mentioned this before in the streams. I will mention this again. We're still looking at devices and what the different modes are doing. I'm not gonna guarantee some like super crazy change to the devices, okay? So please hear me out there. But we have been seeing individuals talk about the different modes and why you would ever get more than one on a device, for example. So we are evaluating what that looks like, and we may have changes to that in the future. Otherwise, we are also gonna take this one. No, excuse me. We're gonna take this one, Shield Surge, because this is a wonderful synchronized opportunity with the Sentinel, which is all about shields. If we can restore shields instantaneously through a shield surge in the EMP generator, that's gonna give us all the more benefits all around. Especially with our expertise up. So nice. All right, now let's get out of here. Trigger a cutscene. Fly to a new location. And keep going. What's your favorite ship? Oh man. It changes. It changes so much based on what I'm playing around with. But I really, really enjoy fast, zippy ships. So I'm inclined to say Vanguard, but I will fully admit, for the record, I'm kind of falling in love with the bomber. Kind of falling in love with the bomber. It moves like garbage, but I am a big fan of the lifesteal elements of the bomber. I'm a real big fan of that and how it all comes together. So I also love spamming secondaries. But we'll see. We'll see. There's not too many ships where I'm like, oh man, this ship sucks, I don't like it. Because each one has its merits, and it also kind of like depends on what I have in the moment. Because like sometimes I'll find an item and I'll be thinking in the back of my head, oh man, I could make this work so much better if I was flying something else. Also, oops. Don't worry, that's just a warning. I'll do this. I'll do this time. Shut it down. Open this bad boy up. Perfect. Trigger the next mission. Oh, I should say for the record, woo! I should have mentioned this. So, whenever you're playing the demo, basically this near a transit point, I don't, you would not be able to do this part of the mission. So when you bought the device from Union Bridge, the PrimeSense STA, that concludes the demo of like where you can go in the story. But the rest of Cedo then opens up for you to go fly around and find all sorts of stuff up to level 5. That does include all of the augments in the area. That includes set bonuses from the Bloodstar. That includes all of the different locational challenges. That includes the ships that you can buy. It includes a lot of different elements that give you a taste of what the game has to offer, which is the point of a demo, right? So that's where that demonstration would conclude. So now we are past the demo phase. We are now moving into the actual game space itself. If you end up downloading the demo, which again is completely for free to get your taste of the game, and you're like, hey, I like this a lot, I would like to purchase the game. When you do that, the save file from the demo will carry over, so you would literally be starting right where we're at right now based on your save. So just a little heads up regarding that. All right. Let's get back into things. Because I need to buy a new ship. Now I had 2 ships requested though, so I might have to put it to a vote of which ship we are going to fly. Oh, I forgot. I need to move away for them to activate that since I got caught. They're like, please move away from the station and all the other things in the area. Or something like that. And then you're gonna turn hostile. I'm gonna teleport away so you can't hit me. See you later, Tater. Awesome. You like the gunship in EVERSPACE 1? Wonder what I will like in EVERSPACE 2? So fun fact, John Fisa, and this might be because I did a lot of testing on the gunship in EVERSPACE 1, but I did not like the gunship. I was not a fan of the gunship in EVERSPACE 1. It was my least favorite ship for a number of reasons, one of which being that a roguelike experience is driven by speed, right? And the gunship just lacked that. It did a lot of damage, could take a lot of damage. That was awesome. And we fine-tuned it, and we're happy with where we ended up with the gunship. But man, I recall like pounding out like several weeks of just gunship run after gunship run. What feels nice? Where do these stats feel like they should be? Am I having fun? And so whenever we got to EVERSPACE 2 and we're like, okay, we're gonna show the gunship, I kind of sighed. I was like, oh boy, here we go again. But as I mentioned just prior in the stream, I've been enjoying the larger ships. I think everything has its place here. It feels good, especially as we go into this more open world style game, as opposed to that roguelike cycle. You calm down there, Dax. Watch your language. But yeah. But I love how everyone has a unique preference and what they're doing and all that type of stuff. Because each of the ships go in the direction of a complementary play style that's unique to that ship. And yeah, there will be similarities between all the lights, all the mediums, and all the heavies, but each one has more of a distinct way to go about a situation than others. And as I mentioned prior, again, that will be defined even further as development continues, especially because you haven't even seen the third light fighter and you haven't seen the third heavy fighter. Actually, I shouldn't say you haven't seen them, because you have. You've seen blockouts. In fact, I shared one recently in the Discord. But I digress. Anyway. Let's see. Love the gunship, but only with certain perks. Yeah. Laserhead. Yeah. That's all I could say is just, yeah. That's honestly, yes. Okay, what color did we get? We got, ooh. Spoiler alert, orange is actually my favorite color. But that's too much orange. Let's just give a subtle, I don't like that stuff. That doesn't feel good. Let's do this. That's also too much. I want less orange. Hang on a second. Hang on. I just want a little orange. I don't want a lot of orange. I wish we had orange emissive lights. This is probably gonna look maybe strange. Well, let's see. Don't mind me just tweaking how things look. Too shiny. Hang on. We'll get there. Okay, that's what I needed. I needed to go metallic with the crimson. Okay, I feel better about that. Just a little touch of orange. Nothing crazy. I'll take that. Is it the coolest looking ship of all time? No, but we'll take it. We'll take it for now. We're about to buy a new ship anyway, so let's go do that. I see a question. Hang on, making sure I'm not missing any details. Let's lock in Nefty's planes. Just saw some concept arts in the website. May I possibly ask Assault Fighter, a new kind of medium of something? It looks really cool. That's the Striker. I think somebody else already mentioned that. Spoot Knight did. Thank you, Spoot Knight. But yes, the Assault Fighter also had a set of wings that were completely changed out. So it got an aesthetic adjustment as well as the name change. Customization is so advanced already. Yeah, we're pretty happy with it. We're pretty happy with where customization's at. We're still adding a little bit more. I'm not gonna say there's gonna be a bajillion new things to customize, but that little bit more when you add to a large pool, it ends up you know, multiplying, right? Because like you adjust one thing out of 20, now those combinations just kind of explode, right? So there will be a little bit more coming to customization. And I do think a lot of you guys are going to enjoy it. I do. I think it'll be pretty well received. Let's take out this drone. Oh. You know what? I'm gonna go back to first person mode. I never thought I would say that. I'm a third person gamer, but these controls work so well in first person mode. I am pleasantly surprised. I say as I completely whip my shots. Pleasantly surprised by that. I don't know if anybody saw that, but spoilers. We're gonna take a quick little break here. Oh my goodness, Sony's like, wait, what? What just happened? Don't you worry about that. What we need to talk about is how we have socials for you to follow and get invested in. I am not hiding anything on the stream right now. What are you talking about? No, everything's completely fine. What you need to know is that if you want to have all the information when it comes out immediately, that we have the space to do that in all of these places across the internets. Oh my gosh, we've got Twitch, we've got Twitter, we've got Instagram and Reddit and Discord. Oh man, Discord's fun. Discord can be fun. Sometimes you guys can be real obnoxious, and that's fine too. But it's a good time all around. And I encourage you guys to join those discussions and those exchanges with us because, I mean, dang, it's fun. It's fun. And I'm seeing how the traveling music here is actually maybe a little too loud. I'm now seeing that. So thanks for pointing that out. I will probably adjust this in a moment. But otherwise, I am trying to pick a ship that's not something you haven't seen. So the first request that I had seen was a gunship. So that is the ship that we are purchasing. I know that might disappoint some people, but that is what we are going to go in on. And so I've purchased the gunship now. We have not revealed anything that we're not supposed to. Michael, it's all fine, I promise. And just doing another quick little double check. Okay, yeah, we're good. Everything's fine. Everything is 100% under control. Hey, welcome back. Check out our gunship. Isn't that so delightful? So we're gonna customize this puppy. And actually, we'll use a different customization. Because I think here, yeah, the orange especially can be like lightly done. Oh, this is what I wanted. This is honestly what I wanted on the other ship. The complementary style of this tertiary color on the gunship, that's nice. I only wish that I had the emissive lights to pair with this. I'll use the yellows for now. It's not as good, but we'll work with it. Bright new shiny gunship for us to champion. We need to select it. Don't want to mess that up again. All right, cool. So now we've gained a couple new things. We can launch. Yes. So, what's different about the gunship from the last ship that we were flying? A couple of things. One, the cockpit's different. How do I know this? Because I have eyes. Two, weapons fire twice as fast. Why is this? Because we have twice as many mounts on the gunship. 3, your energy depletes twice as fast as well. Why does this happen? Because you're firing twice as fast. The gunship can absolutely murderize your opponents, but you gotta land the shots. All right, so let's head in here. Oop, I see flashing targets. Feels good in the gunship. Oh man. I'm also enjoying how the paint carried over in here. So like everything's still white, but we have these splashes of orange. Carries over to all the details in here. What's that? Oh, hello there. Nice shooting, Tex. All right. Ah. This shipwreck is very important, folks, because it holds my personal favorite device. Is it my favorite? It might be my second favorite now that the the fusion hook is out. But I love messing with physics in games, so it makes me happy. So we are gonna go ahead and swap over to the magnetic repulsor. And we are going to, oh, we don't have any more upgrades, so we'll just use that as a standard. We clear out one more drone. Oh, several more drones. Excellent. Energy core, primed shield. Oh, I like that. We're gonna use the prime shield. Let's see. All right, now it's time to get a little dizzy because I have to navigate out of here. There we go. Don't normally have this issue so much because I generally in third person, but no big deal. I could be looking around more. I just don't. Man, I hope that these controls are pleasing to those of you who enjoy first person, because like, I have never felt so good about using first person mode with a control scheme in EVERSPACE 2 until we added this relative mouse position. Like, it feels good. Like, it feels real good. I'm pleased with the results, and I'm eager to see how you guys respond to it once we implement those in as well. All right, let's clear this location out. Also, let's check out the gunship from the outside as well. Ooh, ouch. That was a chunky missile. Okay, okay. Need to use my device. I get it. I was just playing with my food there, but anyway. Oh, this is important to note. See these mines? So whenever you teleport, check this out. I'm leaving a mine behind, right? You see it right there? See that little bitty mine? You know, yeah. See that little bitty mine? Let's watch that little bitty mine. Goodbye! He's just falling down to the planet. Gravity does affect things planet side. Not loot. We don't want it to affect loot. We want the loot to stay where it's at. We've had that conversation way too many times internally. So like this, sticky turret, it's floating. It's not realistic, but it serves a very important purpose for consistency throughout the game state. That's why it's staying the way that it is. But there are elements that have physicality that will fall like a mine in this space. All right, let's head back to the station. Realism, I know, right? It's a funny word when you're talking about gaming, but you know. All right. I'm missing some conversation. Let me catch up real briefly. My bomber or gunship or both will be used as cargo ships for trading of goods or illegal goods if we ever see any. Yeah, technically those are in the plan. Pretty sure they're still in the plan. As I mentioned at the start of the stream, hi Barftix, we have been having to like iron out details and like, as an example, let's just throw out an example. It's like we've got all of these things in the game implemented, right? And they're good. And then we've got this big thing over here planned, right? We can either champion the big thing and add it in and it would be good. So then we'd have good and good. Or we could cut that thing that's planned out and make this great, right? These are the hard calls we got to decide in game dev. I'm not saying we're not going to go in the direction of, you know, like not you can put it together. You're an intelligent individual. I get it. So that's why I'm just like making this abundantly clear. Like we're in that sort of process that kind of sucks because we can get frustrated by some of these decisions that are being made. We know that you guys are getting frustrated by some of those decisions that will end up being made. But we're finding the best middle ground solution through your feedback, through your suggestions. And that's why it's so important and imperative and why we're so thankful for you guys dropping your thoughts and your ideas on the forums so that we know what's best to cut and what's not so best to cut. And again, this is a natural process of game development. If some developer out there's like, oh yeah, I never had to cut anything, everything's perfect, and you know, every single idea that my community suggested I implemented, that is a straight up liar. Oh my gosh, don't listen. Absolute liar. That never happens. So hopefully that's not coming out of the blue for any of you guys. It's a part of development. We're a healthy way in. We've made wonderful progress in certain regards, and we're seeing that some things simply don't work. And we will continue to evaluate that state based on your feedback to get the game where it needs to be. Cool. Also, I sent a response to your thread, Hi Barftik, regarding the suggestion that the what was it? It was something about like if a person gets their suggestions implemented, I think that's what it was, then we'd give them a reward. I love that idea, but yeah, I did give you a response there. Hopefully you've read it and hopefully you understand. We have to stick to our guns in that field and have to honor our backers and, you know, that sort of thing. Where's the feedback forums? Hey, that's a great question. I think we have a command for that. Shuzan, do we have a command for that? It's basically the Steam forums. You can head on over to Steam or GOG. You can also go to GOG. And whenever you go to your game library, you know, just find EVERSPACE 2 or go to the overarching library at all, find EVERSPACE 2 and then go to the discussions where it's all set up in that forum territory for you. There's a general forum, which is more for, what is a general forum for anyway? Anyway, we have suggestions and a feedback forum, which is a far more appropriate location to go if you've got thoughts and ideas. Yeah, so there's all that. Oh, where am I going? I need to go this way. To the downed jump gate. Cutting a subpar feature from the game is a good thing. Yeah, I mean, we agree. But at the same time, Laserhead, I mean, the reason I'm pointing this out is because we're probably gonna have to make a couple more hard calls soon. And we'll make announcements if and when we do. But it's just one of those things. Like, I want to make sure everybody understands, like, has that right expectation, right? We can't add every single suggestion we get. Even if every single suggestion was like perfect and good, we wouldn't be able to. That sucks. It sucks. But we have to figure out what's going to be best for the game with the time that we have allowed, with the finances that we've received, in order to best this project for the community, for us, for everyone, you know? And it means we got to cut things out. It means we got to add things in. And make it happen. I went into the wrong location, but shoot, you know what? Let's get this secret. I think it's right here, yeah. Game dev's hard. It sucks sometimes. Like, yeah, I mean, just telling somebody no, that sucks. It's never fun. Annihilator virus. Oh, whoop, there's one more thing. So glad we went back for that. All right. You win some, you lose some when it comes to loot. Now let's head to this jump suppressor. Where are you at? Over here? I think it's over here. Was that code in there? Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. No. Just so you are aware, the development of this game started back in 2017? 2017. And we had plans for a little device known as the Annihilator virus, which is bound to the computational components of a ship, destroys its systems internally, and affects other systems nearby. It is a mere unfortunate coincidence. Man, this got reworked. Holy cow, I haven't flown through here in a while. Dang, that was close, and that was gorgeous. Holy cow, team. Who added those features? That was great. That was pretty. As you can see, we're continuing to add details to even locations that are in Sector 1. There's always more that is getting improved and added. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, so let's go up here. Excellent. I think I might have Zoidberg noised. Hey, it just kind of happens, okay? My impressions are not very good. And when I do them, sometimes it's just embarrassing, and I'm sorry for that. So thanks for dealing with my weirdness occasionally. Where did we move this base to? It's gone. It used to be right here. I haven't played this game's beginning in so long. We've been so focused on Zarkov and the Khait Nebula. Guys, it's like a whole different game to me. There he is. Oh, okay, I was just looking in the wrong spot. Everything's fine. Everything's good. Oh my gosh. But we can fly through here. Collect some goods. Some credits, some nanos. Some more credits and nanos. Destroyed ship. That looks an awful lot like a gunship, actually. It is a gunship. That's 100% a gunship. Sorry, gunship. All right. Flying on out to the base. How much time we got? Oh my gosh, we only have like 18 minutes left? Shoot, I'm gonna dock here and I'm gonna show you some Khait Nebula stuff. All right, so yeah, so I think this is a good spot to just stop and hang out. Thanks for the request for the gunship. And next time, we can certainly fly around another requested ship. Maybe we can even do like multiple ships in this stream, you know, all that type of stuff. But otherwise, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna jump over to some elements of the Khait Nebula. I know that a lot of you guys have been anticipating the next system and wondering like what it looks like and what it's gonna cover. So let me just go ahead and bounce over to here. So this is our first shot from the Khait Nebula. Some of these shots were pushed in our last Kickstarter update. So I'm gonna show you all of those and then a couple extras. And just share with you kind of the progress that's going on. Now, you guys have noticed a familiar looking base and some other areas. Obviously a big key difference here is the coloration in the background, the star, the nebula itself. And there's some large tank thing down here too. You can kind of see it there. There's a couple of different things going on that are a little bit more hard to explain, like this. What's this going down in the middle, right? We got this big old beam firing through the middle. What is that? There are a number of new additions and changes and all sorts of everything in the mix of these screenshots. So we're just gonna go through them, and some of them I'm just gonna be quiet because I don't need to say too much, right? They're screenshots, I'll let you digest. Something in there, it looks like. I don't know, maybe. I don't think this is an updated Sentinel. I'm pretty sure that's just a tier 2. All right, next. I like how we have the more atmospheric music in the background. Just some details from the Khait Nebula. There's actually a lot going on in this particular screenshot. A couple things to point out is that this big old chunk right here, that's actually part of the warp gate. This kind of looks like Zarkov a bit. That certainly doesn't. Khait Nebula looks pretty colorful. Yeah. We are very happy with the general look and feel of the Khait Nebula, with more additions to come. That, I mean, you don't know all of the points that we're currently at, so it's weird to say with more additions to come, since you don't know entirely what that looks like, but we're still adding to it. That's what I mean to say. We're still adding to it. All right, so now we get to a couple that I don't think have actually been shown before, to give you a little bit more of a sense of even the asteroids themselves are more alien here. There's more coming out of this space than normal. Because we get it, like, you see one asteroid, you kind of see them all, right? It's like, you go through Cedo, it's like, oh, I've seen that asteroid before. Oh, I've seen that one. It's actually why we've been taking a lot of care in making these locations handcrafted instead of just like randomly throwing in asteroids. Yes, we reuse asteroid assets. This is true. We do this for a number of reasons. many of which are very beneficial to you and your system. But also, we want fresh assets in new locations. We don't want you to go to one location and feel like you're at the exact same location again and, oh, except now the color instead of being blue is green. Like, that's not very fun. That's not very exciting. So a lot of our team has been hard at work building entirely new assets with each one of these new locations. Just like we saw with Zarkov and the vertical asteroids, just like we saw in Union with the nebulae and the new types of structures in stations, like goodness gravy, like we keep moving forward and adding more. We want to add more. And so here, this last little bit of a teaser in regards to the Zarkov, or excuse me, the Khait Nebula. Those with a keen eye will recognize some components of this, some familiarity to it. I'm wondering how many puzzles will be hidden in the new area. The answer is yes. Yes, that's how many puzzles. Oh my gosh, some of you guys' comments. Could you zoom in a bit on this one? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to give a little bit of zoom for each one. Oh, is my camera alignment? I'm looking up there. I'm seeing a gray bar. Shoot, I think my camera alignment's actually off on the block. Hang on a second. What's going on here? Hang on a second. No, it's correct. That's weird. Why is it doing that? I guess I can't control that. It just is what it is. And now you can see my taskbar. Oh, EVERSPACE 2 is still running. Guys, we got him. We can see his computer screen. Yeah, the gray bar up here where my mouse is, that's weird. I wanted it to be like completely maximized in there for all that glorious, good looking deliciousness, but I digress. So yeah. This has been a micro tease of the Khait Nebula, just to show you like how hard at work we are to make the space feel more unique than anything you've seen before. Yes, we're reusing certain aspects, but more importantly, you can see that we have a distinct look and feel for each different system. Much like Cedo is a space for you to chill and figure things out, Union is a bustling trading hub of all sorts and varieties. Zarkov is a more volatile vortex with a lot of fog and dangerous locations. Now we have the Khait Nebula, which is mysterious and foreboding. And we'll keep getting into more details as we have more to share. Now, speaking of more details and more to share, I was given express permission to show you a little bit of the behind the scenes. Now, I cannot zoom in on this content for the sake of me not wanting to lose my job, but what this is right here, this is actually a slice of how we go about the system design of the missions. So you can also see one particular side mission here as well, which is called Worship, but otherwise these orange lines, these are how the main story progresses and how it carries you through the different environments and what you would be seeing. I'm gonna go ahead and scoot over here a little bit so you can kind of see everything. Like I'm not trying to hide anything here. I just want to show you how our process works when we're putting this together. So we have these screenshots. Those are screenshots, by the way. These are all screenshots of the locations themselves, right? Of the locations themselves. And then we provide text and other detailed referential materials. Like if I go like this, the text is still fuzzy, sorry, but you can see like we have an overview of the system in the very middle. You can kind of see that, all these guidelines, and over here we've got other added details of what's to come. Look at that. Look at all these things that I'm showing you on the screen. There's not too much more than that I can show. That's as zoomed in as I can make it for you in this current state. Not zoom in the sense of like give you the high quality detailed rendition of this to where you can actually read all the text on the screen. That's what I mean. But if I get a chance to show something, you guys know me, I'm gonna give you as much as I can without pissing Michael off. Oh my gosh. What about sharing the latest Team Zoom recording? No, that's not gonna happen. Plus, we don't use Zoom. I'll be straight up honest. At least I don't use Zoom. We do use Slack, however, and we did share a snippet of that when we were talking about some of your guys' suggestions, actually, from the forums. There's a snippet of us talking about the Outlaw Sniper drone, which we adjusted, and I showed today. If you go back to the Kickstarter update, it's also on Steam. It's on the Steam update, the latest Steam update. You can read through that, and there's a picture from our Slack. You can see like where I'm talking and saying like, guys, I think this sucks and we need to adjust this, and it's because like community's bringing this up, and here's a reference to Horizon Zero Dawn. And then Marco's all coming in and he's like, guys, y'all need to freaking chill. This is just a temporary solution. I'll fix it. And like, like it's there. You can read it. You can go there. You can check it out. We want to be transparent with you. So yeah, so this is a sliver of what's to come with the Khait Nebula. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this stream and are looking forward to System 4. This will be our autumn update. It is scheduled to come out in September? October. It's scheduled to come out in October of this year. And yeah, there's a lot that's coming with it. If you want to see more about our roadmap, there's a link that's been popping up in the streams where you can click on that. If you missed all of those, you can always head over to our Discord and head to the question answer portion, or the what's it called? Frequently asked questions. The FAQ. You can go to the EVERSPACE 2 FAQ channel and you can look at the roadmap from there as well. I even put little fancy emojis next to everything. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Is it October? Yeah, I said October. Yeah, at first I said September and I corrected in October. Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, so I hope that you guys are looking forward to what's to come and are seeing, you know, even squinting your eyes at these tiny little things that I'm sharing with you, you can start seeing how much different this space is from the last. And yeah. Oh, and Michael's dropping even more. So he's saying the experimental in mid to late October, official release probably early November. Okay. That must have been a recent change, because I don't think I knew that yet. My goodness. So we'll pump out the experimental first, as we always do, and then follow up with the release fairly shortly after, maybe a week or two, and then drop that. So thank you for that correction, Michael. So once again, I'll point that out. This content, the Khait Nebula, and everything that you can kind of not really see but am teasing right now, this is scheduled out in an experimental build in the mid-late October area with the full push in early November. All right, guys, it has been my absolute pleasure going through these details and sharing it all with you. I'm gonna share with you guys one more thing, actually. It's just kind of a curious sort of thing. So are you guys familiar with key performance indicators? It's like a marketing sort of thing. Basically, stats, numbers, things that we track to make sure that you're digesting the material appropriately, right? That's kind of what a key performance indicator is. KPI is what they're known for short. We had some nice figures, actually. And let me just pop this open. This is a screenshot from Michael's side of looking at visible only to admins. We just straight up show you this, just full transparency here. We were thrilled with the response to this update. I'm gonna zoom in here. And you can start seeing like some of these figures are actually kind of crazy. Which granted, you don't have a comparison point to the other ones, but basically know that this number here, the unique impressions and the unique views, like these are individuals coming into this space, discovering EVERSPACE 2, reading about it. You're seeing our upvotes, our downvotes, the comments. I feel like we could use more comments, but you know, comments are always great. Comments are never bad. Chatter is such a good, healthy thing. Then you can also see like the library homepage, all of these details as well. Like I'm being super transparent here. Michael gave me approval to show you this. This is nuts. This is nuts for us. So thank you for being so responsive. Thank you for criticizing us. Thank you for sharing your support. Thank you for throwing out new ideas in a healthy setting. Thank you for being a part of these streams and asking questions so that we can engage with you, so that we can iron out any details, especially those that are misunderstood, especially those that maybe have the wrong expectation in mind. I mean, you guys have made this development cycle as a whole so much better for us, which inherently makes it better for you. So just a huge shout out to you. Huge shout out to you. It has been such a wonderful ride, and we ain't done yet. Oh my gosh, we got so much more coming, guys. Oh, Michael, when's the next thing that I can tease? I already want to go into it. Oh my gosh, I am pumped. I am seriously pumped. All right, so I'm gonna cycle back to the game screen here. Just look at this big, beautiful beauty that is my gunship. And I just, seriously, guys, you've been awesome. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep criticizing us. Keep us on our toes. Keep giving us ideas and suggestions to help make this the best it can possibly be. Keep doing all the things that you're doing. It's working, and it has been so freaking good. All right, that's all I got. So I will go ahead and go into the normal sort of territory here, which is, hey, we have all these different socials. We got the Discord, the Twitter, the YouTube, the Twitch, Instagram, Reddit. Find a space to thrive. Share your thoughts and opinions, mostly on the Steam Discords, the Steam forums, please, because we can catalog it a lot easier, track it, it's easier to search for other things. Or the GOG forums, if that's your style, it's fine. Bringing it to those spaces helps us make sure your voice has been seen, your voice has been heard. And if for some crazy reason I missed a question that you delivered, or Michael missed a question, or Will missed a question, or somebody on the team missed a question from you today, please, please, please dive into that Discord right now. Go to the Ask Dev Questions channel and ask it. We would be delighted to follow up with you to make sure everything is ironed out. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I've got to go. There are things to do. You have been awesome. I have been Eric Schrader, your community ambassador for all things EVERSPACE 2. Don't stop being awesome, and we'll catch you in the next stream next week. Toodles! More new stuff next week, right, Michael? Right, Michael? Please? Yes, he said yes! Yes!